Hello, I'm Jim Spivey, Police Chief, Richardson, Texas. It's my pleasure to be here to talk to you about some RFID technology that we've partnered with our good friend Globe Ranger to put on the street here in Richardson to help keep our citizens safe. Let me tell you a little bit about Richardson, Texas. We're a city on the north side of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. We're about 100,000 people. We're a little bit more affluent than the state median income, and where our home values are a little bit higher than the state median home values. The Richardson Police Department is about in the top 20 largest police departments in the state of Texas. We have 252 people, total employees, 156 of which are sworn or badge-carrying police officers, and then 96 civilian employees that support the work that we do. Our fleet of vehicles, we run about 100 vehicles. Almost 50 are emergency response vehicles. As you can see, we have 39 patrol vehicles, 6 in our traffic unit, 3 canine units, and 2 public safety officer units. We also deploy a whole variety of police services. As you can see in this slide, we have a SWAT team with quite an array of equipment. We have all of the equipment that you can imagine with radar units and everything else that you put in a police car. And we have, with 156 officers, we have quite a bit of uniform inventory and equipment that we issue to these guys. 9/11 taught us some serious lessons. It made us think a whole lot differently about the security of our equipment and the sensitivity of all of these weapons and badges and the total amount of equipment that we use. And it made us really think more about how do we keep the security of that intact. This is also a new era of government accountability. We need to be accountable to the taxpayers about how we use their hard-earned money. The police department has always been accountable for our inventory. However, that accountability has been a very manual process. We have physically gone around the department once a year and counted everything that we have to make sure that it's still where it's supposed to be. Not only is this a manual process, it's very time consuming. We spend months trying to count this equipment and make sure that we still have what we're supposed to have. To say that it's inefficient is probably an understatement. We look for a better way to do this. We're being more sensitive to the security issues involved and being more in tune to the accountability that we have to the taxpayer. We knew that there had to be a technology solution out there that could help us accomplish these goals. We knew something about RFID technology, but I will tell you we didn't know much about it. We started looking around and found that there are applications of this that we didn't know existed. We put out feelers and found some experts in this field that helped us design a system that could help manage our inventory and our sensitive property. Knowing then that we had the potentials to do something with this, we put out a request for proposals. That's when we met Globe Ranger. And I will tell you the thing about Globe Ranger that impressed us so much, of all of the potential vendors that submitted proposals, Globe Ranger was the only company that owns its own software and offered a solution that would work for us. Not only that, but their experience with the Department of Defense and other major customers made us know that we could depend on this company to provide the solution that we need. The bottom line also, this is a hometown Richardson business. We knew that any issues that would come up with this, and we knew it would be complicated, they're right down the street from us and would be right there to help us. Once we dug into this process, we found there was a lot we didn't know about RFID technology. Globe Ranger helped us wade through this whole idea of how to deploy RFID in a police department. We found out there were tags for every kind of equipment you can imagine. And as we started putting tags on different items, we found that one size does not fit all. In fact, we've ended up deploying probably a good half a dozen different tags just so that we can get all of our equipment covered. Another thing we found out, there are some efficiencies here that we never expected. For instance, when we check out a vehicle in the morning, it's full of all kinds of expensive and security sensitive equipment. Not only were we able to control our internal inventory, but we've also found a solution for controlling the inventory that we put on the street every day. For our uniforms, we found a laundry tag that I never knew existed, and a process that we can now account for our police uniforms in a much more efficient way than we ever did before. This process is so smooth. We all have an ID card, and we use that ID card to access the system. We scan our name into it, and then we scan the uniform item that we're going to be issued. That system automatically updates our records and makes sure that we know who has what and how many they have and how long they've had it and when they're ready for a change out. I also want to thank GlobeRanger for helping us overcome a number of challenges that we encountered with the system that we never anticipated. For instance, our entire inventory process was redone. Not only did we find that the RFID technology made us more efficient in terms of finding and keeping records of our equipment, but the way that we purchase, the way that we receive equipment, the way that we issue equipment, all had to be rethought. And we found much smoother, much more efficient ways of processing these things so that we do a better job of that. Also, the variety of tags, we would never have figured this out were it not for GlobeRanger helping us through this process. Installing the tags even became a very, very challenging part of it. Not only were the laundry tags a bit of a time-consuming process of installing, but also finding the right tag that'll fit, one tag to fit on a shotgun, one tag to fit on an automatic weapon, another tag to fit on a handgun. These were all things that we would have never figured out had it not been for GlobeRanger there with us. So, to wrap this up, what we have now is a hugely improved efficiency. Our officers are able to inventory their cars and get on the street 15 minutes per officer per shift faster than they were before. For us, this translates to an extra police officer being on the street because of technology. We also have better accountability for our equipment. We also have enhanced security. We know where everything is, and we're a smoother process because we've revived our inventory procedures. We began with RFID technology with our uniforms. We added our equipment. So what's next? I hope that we're able to move this into the future by managing our evidence much better. It has to be precise, and I'm convinced now, having experience with RFID technology and GlobeRanger, I'm more convinced that we're able to use this technology to manage our evidence and have even more solid prosecutions in the future. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to talk about this exciting technology. I really appreciate what GlobeRanger has done for us, and I'm sure this is something that a lot of police departments around this country could use.